All right, Vishnu. Now it's your turn.
Yeah,
FC Barcelona. They
yeah,
won their most recent game against Osasuna 2-1.
yep, yep,
And Real Madrid, at the time of recording, have not played, so we do not know the result of that match. But at least
yep,
as it stands, FC Barcelona right now are 2 points away from winning the league for a second time in a row.
yep,
And your next game just so happens to be against Real Madrid, the El
yep,
Clásico.
yep.
What are your thoughts? Would you like to win the league against Real Madrid at the El Clásico, or are you happy to see them give you a guard of honor?
You know, when you ask me that question directly, it's like the no one watches La Liga, let's be frank, except Barca and United. I mean, Barca and Madrid fans, right? So from a from a big news perspective, like if I'm opening Instagram in the morning and scrolling through, and I need a big bang, there's only one game that the whole world is watching. It's El Clasico. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it would be great if Madrid win tonight against Espanyol. I mean, let them have fun. But I want to beat Madrid in the El Clasico. And I want to see my boys celebrate crazy. Lamine is injured. He's going to wear his jeans, halfway down and run into the pitch. If we win El Clasico, I think that would be like most pleasing because that hits the news, And we have
Yeah.
had a bad season because, Champions League since 2015 and all that. So this would be a bigger news for us because the league, should be won at El Clasico, in my opinion.
And if I may add, it would also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, at least from the perspective of a neutral who doesn't watch a lot of La Liga, but at least at the
Yeah,
start of the season, given the kind
yeah,
of narrative that was being pushed around,
yeah,
that Xabi Alonso at Real Madrid, they have
yeah,
Mbappe now, that
yeah,
the league has got to watch out that they might just be walking through it and away with
yeah,
it. That Atleti Barcelona stand no chance. Yet here you
yeah,
are, 14
yeah,
points clear of the
yeah,
top.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's, I don't know. I just keep thinking that La Liga seems to be easy, but it's easy only because Barca and Madrid make it seem to be easy because it's not easy to win La Liga. I mean, I would say if you put any of the Prem teams in there, week in, week out, you like the La Liga teams start to figure like Brentford and Newcastle, they start to figure them out. And in a different way. And Brentford, Newcastle, or any other Prem team would have to evolve um, into how La Liga would play. So
I think we see that
I
in like
yeah,
in Europe as well, like because it always comes down to like you always see like the Spanish teams just edging it on just technicality and like
yeah,
technical
yeah,
quality of like their
yeah,
players. So
yeah,
yeah, I guess like you're probably right in saying that, yeah, as a neutral, yeah, I think for someone who doesn't watch except maybe the big games, like it's probably not as easy to win as people
yeah,
think. It's not really a
yep,
Madrid and Barca sort of
yeah,
two-horse race. I mean, it is, but
yeah,
I mean, they still got to navigate that whole
yeah,
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah,
also add to
absolutely.
that, it tells me that basically both leagues in general, Premier League and La Liga, have not changed a lot in a while because maybe a decade ago, when I was still living in the UK, I used to watch a lot of games, even La Liga, even Bundesliga. And I do remember even back then that watching La Liga games, you could tell that the technical quality and level of the footballers that you would see
Yeah,
was higher. Whereas
yeah,
the Prem, which back in the day, and you could argue even today, is it's still a lot about the
physicality.
physicality,
Physicality.
winning the
That's 100%.
second
Yeah.
balls, just putting the pressure on. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have the most technically gifted footballers, but if you just have more of that desire, more of the physicality, that
Yeah,
you can just get away with essentially having a what do you call it, a fluke win or a smash and grab, let's say. But
yep.
let's revert back to Barcelona. What did you think of that game against Osasuna? Who was the standout player? Any positives, negatives?
Okay, guys, as United fans, Rashford is fucking gold, guys. You know,
No, you
you
can't.
know,
You can't be
you
saying that.
know.
No.
I have to say that because, see, the thing is, the type and profile of what Rashford has, right? Go back to the PSG games, those Champions League nights. Go back to his pace and just think about him, irrespective of how Man United have been dipping because of managers, because of other things. I mean, put Rashford in tonight's game with Liverpool. I know it's a lot. You guys would probably like throw shit at me, like we have enough people, you don't need. But I think Rashford would thrive there if his mentality was right. And I think the space that Barcelona has given him um, has been more safe, and he's not the main guy. Like you guys, Jervis has been saying, we have Lamine, we have Rafinha, we have other guys creating Pedri, and Rashford. Even in the last few games, even Lamine and Rafinha, both were injured. Still, he started from the bench all the games, and I was really like, why? I mean, isn't he like a star player? But no, Hansi does not feel that for the team, for whatever reason. And apparently we were suffering. And he comes on, Rose got such a good whip on that cross. He's just like, he's standing for like 5 seconds and no one's pressing him. I'm just talking about the first goal. We couldn't break the deadlock. We need to win the league. We're 0-0. It's 75 minutes. And Rashford gets the ball on the right wing outside the box. No one's pressing him. Everyone's standing because, Rashford could apparently just go through or something. And he takes 5 seconds and he just lifts his arm, and Lewandowski makes a run. Of course, it's like muscle memory for Lewandowski. And he whips in a perfect cross to break that deadlock. And I'm telling you, I'm watching Barcelona since like the Messi times, Suarez times, and we've lacked that quality
That directness.
sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I
And
think just
Rashford gave us
if you
that.
talk
So
about,
I think,
yeah,
yeah. I
it
mean,
sounds like he's also just gone back to doing like the basics, right? And I think that's
yeah.
something that we kind of liked him for as United fans when he like first like appeared, like made his debut for us and stuff like that kind of willingness to run at his man, that directness and stuff like that. So it feels like he's basically found that again at Barcelona, which is good for him. And like I don't like have anything. I mean, we joke about it, but I have nothing against the guy. I just feel like, yeah, maybe the scrutiny and the pressure at United was too much, and I think we really expected him to kind of carry that attack for us for a long time, like someone like maybe Wayne Rooney being an English player and stuff. But
Yeah.
I think when push came to shove, he just wasn't really able to handle that kind of
Yeah.
the weight of expectations and stuff. So
Yeah.
there's always that bit of like what could have been, with him.
Right.
But yeah, I'm glad he's doing well in Barcelona.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to also add to that the pressure was a big thing at United for Marcus, because you could tell that when he was playing with a lot of freedom, where he didn't feel like he had the weight of the world on his shoulders, he was giving us some solid 20, 30 goal contribution seasons. That one season under Oli, he had 40 plus goal contributions. So I'm also happy. I'm also glad that he's doing well. I think that at Barcelona, because he's not that main man anymore, because he doesn't have that pressure on him, it gives him a
Mm.
clean slate and a platform where he can essentially just thrive and shine. But I have to ask Vishnu, because what I'm hearing these days is that apparently Barcelona do not want to make his contract permanent, whereas maybe 3 months ago they were all very happy with him. Hansi Flick happy with him, which is why I ask you the question: like, you as a Barcelona fan, would you like to keep Rashford permanently?
Pay up, bro, pay up.
I mean, for me, it doesn't matter what I think, frankly, because financial situation of Barcelona is such a mess. Apparently, even today, that I could wish for Rashford 30 million, bro. What is 30 million? Peanuts, right? Apparently in football now,
Yeah,
but it's not for Barca. 30 million for Rashford is a bargain, bro. For whatever club,
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, even if you bench him and get him only in the second half, it's a bargain, right? In this market. But
Right.
apparently we can't. I'm listening to news 2 days ago that Rafinha is affected by the Champions League exits in the last 2 seasons, and he's
Mhm.
mentally feeling like maybe he should take another challenge because he's 30 now, 31, he's going to be or something like that.
Yeah, I think he
He,
Yeah.
should be at
And
the same age as Bruno because they started out together. Or not, well, they were like
yeah, they
sporting at the
did.
same time. Sorry.
Sporting,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently Rafinha is thinking he should quit. And frankly speaking, with Barcelona, you can never say. If we get like 80 million, we might just sell because of money. So if you ask me, should we keep Rashford for 30? I don't know. Whatever the club does, I guess. But as a player, I love him. He's clutch. And I think if this team rebuilds and has a I don't know, a better striker. I don't I don't know about the defender, but a better striker and a little bit more shuffling with terms of world class players. I think Rashford should stay.
I
Maybe a
also think
year
it's
more.
like you said, maybe he offers something different, is what you were trying to
Yeah, he
say, right? Like
does.
compared
He
to what you
does.
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that
Yeah,
typical sort of La Liga profile of like a winger. Yeah, so
absolutely. True.
But
I
then it
mean,
comes down to this, right? What do you think, Roddy, is the priority also for next season? Because if essentially that's what the club is thinking right now, is that, yeah, you know what, 30 million for Rashford, we can invest better in another position, which you need to strengthen in more of a priority right now. So, in that sense, do you think Rashford is the type of player you need right now in your squad, even if it means it's someone as a rotational player and not someone as a ready-made starter?
yeah, that's a very good question. Frankly, then the answer is no. I want a starter, bro. Like I need someone. If I'm signing someone for like, I don't know about the money, but if I'm signing someone, I want a starter who replaces. I don't know if Rafinha leaves or whatever, but I want someone who can go in and not miss even one chance. And Rashford's missed those chances in some moments, and so I
I
guess
think
probably
that's something we've always also like had an issue with, where as United fans, where like in key moments you feel like his decision making is
yeah, true,
often like it comes into question. And I think
yeah,
what game was it where the Atletico game, I think, where I was telling you the same
yeah.
thing.
Oh, second
Marcus
half, he had
Rashford's
a
decisions was
chance.
on display.
Bro, we could have been in Champions League semi-finals if those goals went in,
Yeah,
frankly. So, I mean, that's another
Yeah.
discussion altogether. But yeah, if it's that, then, but then can you blame him? I don't know, really. I don't know.
I
No, but
think
that's
so. I
what I
feel like because
mean.
after so many years at the top, like you would think that's something that he should have corrected or addressed in his
Exactly.
game, right?
hmm
So
He's been a top five player for almost a decade now, so
yeah,
there's no excuse at this point.
At a
But it's
certain point,
almost
you
it's
have to cross that threshold of being
yeah,
someone who still has potential to unlock. You know,
yeah.
if you've been in the game for 10
Yeah,
years,
yeah, yeah, true.
you have to reach a point where people are still having to wonder, like, oh, is there something more in there? Is there more of a player in there? What does he need?
Yeah.
Another better environment? Does he need another better situation? So what is it really he's missing at this point? Because
yeah.
he's had quite a lot of
Mhm.
that care and attention given to him.
Yeah, yeah, true, true, absolutely. How old
Let
is
me ask you,
Rashford,
Ruben,
bro?
because I think he's
27.
28,
27 or
27,
28 probably. Yeah.
27,
27,
28.
28.
Yeah.
Mm,
Let me
yeah.
ask you, Ruben, because as a resident La Liga watcher as well, albeit supporting the rival team, what do you make of the situation of Rashford at Barcelona? And you've probably seen him play also at a few games.
Yeah, I feel like to your point, I think the fact that he hasn't been the main man, right? He's been able to come in where it's like pressures and on him to be like be the go-to guy, be the guy to create chances or score chances or whatever it is that he thought he was expected of at United, which was just to play basic football, which he seemingly could not do at that point in time. But for whatever reason, now coming to a new environment, I guess when you come to a new place, fresh start, you don't have those the burden of expectations isn't there. So he seemed to have thrived under that, right? To an extent. Um, but yeah, I think he's been good for them. Obviously, I think he's had his moments and he's been decent for them. But
I think he's had his most successful season in terms of
Yeah, he
output, like
did. He
in terms
did.
of goals and assist contributions, right? In terms of
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah,
numbers.
yeah. Yep.
better than
So
his United days?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Better, better, better. Best season. Best season.
Best season.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's also saying something. So
Yeah.
uh,
But then I guess a counter question to you all then, United fans. Would you all take him back? Or do you want to sell him?
Good question.
we touched
Would
upon
you?
this last time
Okay, okay.
actually,
Wait,
but
wait, wait,
I think
wait. So,
I'm gonna
so
let
wait,
Gaurav.
wait, 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 wait. If Rashford comes, Barca don't have money, or the
hmm
Hansi and the team feels like Rashford should not stay because of whatever reason. If he comes back and he's not on loan on any other Aston Villa or back in Barca again on loan or whatever, where does Rashford fit in this United? Is he a starter? Is he
No.
benched? Does he even come in for clutch or what?
So I
Benched.
also think there's a financial aspect just like Barca do it, like and the fact that he would demand such a high wage if he were to come back, that would again upset our wage structure, which is something we've repeatedly complained about over the years, and it's something that we've only recently started to fix. I feel him coming back would upset that one, and I don't know, maybe like Gaurav had said last time, it's you don't want the what was it like those that old bomb squad kind of assembling again, and yeah, so that where I think he maybe does start to feel like he is that main man, or he expects to automatically walk into the first team. I don't think he's uh, walking into that team, because I'd argue that Cunha has been a success for us, and I would, for what he offers defensively and
Mm,
his work rate throughout over 90 minutes,
yeah.
we haven't seen that with Rashford over the course like of his last maybe 2 or 3 seasons at United. It seems like he's been doing that at Barcelona, and that's something Flick expects. And I think he's also smart in the sense that he knows that this move had to work out for him, which is why you see him put that effort in and add that element to his game of like his defensive work rate and stuff.
Yeah, but
I,
that's also helped by the fact that he's coming off the bench quite often, right? So it's easier to do when you're not
I
doing it for the whole season and you're doing it, right?
exactly. What I will add to that is that it will really depend on who our manager is next season. I think for most United fans, we are we've probably reached closure with the fact that Rashford is no longer a player at our club. So I think to bring him back would require quite a few things for us to essentially start embracing him again. One would be that he doesn't try to demand the same kind of wages that he had before, like Jervis touched upon, that, we are trying very hard as a club to now improve our financials. So the same way that he has been showing the desire and willingness to accept a rotational role, a lower wage at Barcelona, I would expect he gives a little bit of that same back to United if he sees that he doesn't have the same opportunities arising somewhere else. I do think that if Carrick is our manager next season permanently, I think he can work with him. I think just given the way Carrick likes to play, I think it would add another facet to our game right now, which we lack, which is essentially a winger, because under Amorim we got rid of pretty much all our wingers. Combined together with Ten Hag and
Yeah.
Amorim, we got rid of all the wingers we had. So right now, out and out, we don't really have a prolific winger. So I think Rashford has a way to come back into this team, but it will require a lot of things to go right for United fans to believe in that comeback story again, I think.
Mm.
And it would
Mm,
it would require a lot from his side, I think.
yeah.
And for the
So
conditions at the club to be right also from
Yep.
the perspective of who the manager is.
Yeah.
all right, guys, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Bottle Jobs. We will be back with new content on Champions League, Premier League, La Liga, and all the top leagues in Europe. And please do hit the like button and follow us for more.